All right, so if you followed along with my my last video, we've created a project in Azure DevOps called Test1234. Now we're going to make use of it. So there's an article that I've linked in this video, the description of this video, to create your Azure Boards product backlog. This is a Microsoft document, and we're going to go through that now. So you click on Boards. I like the backlogs interface. And by default, you get access to features and backlog items. I prefer to organize my tasks with a third level. So I'm going to go to Configure Team Settings, and I'm going to add the Epic level. Save and close. You'll see it refresh. And now I have access to an additional layer to organize my tasks by epics, features, and backlog items. So let's start with creating an epic. And the first epic we're going to create is called Develop a Static Website in HTML4. That's what we're going to accomplish here over time. The next thing I'm going to do is create a feature. And that feature is, the first step of developing something like this is create a code repository. I'm going to assign that code that feature to myself. Typically, you work in a if you think about working in a team scenario, you'd want to assign different work to different people and make sure that they understand what their responsibilities are. So that's what that's all about. We're going to add a description. Create code repository to store website code and content. Since it's a static website, we have both. Let's save and close that. Now that we have a feature, let's create some product backlog items. So the first product backlog item seems a bit redundant, but we're going to create the repository. I don't think there's a need for a description. It's pretty self-explanatory. The next thing we're going to do once we create the code repository in Azure DevOps is we're going to clone it to our local machine. So let's create another product backlog item. So I'm just documenting the work. We'll go through how to do this stuff in one of the future videos. And one more product backlog item. We're going to edit the readme.md file to document the process. By default, when you create a repo, there's a little checkbox to create a readme.md file. Git repositories are good. It's good to have content in them. And so what that does is two things. It adds content to the Git repo, and then it also gives you a mechanism to document why you're creating this code repository, what's its purpose, and things like that. And we'll go through that a little further as we get further into the series. So, in summary, we have created a project in the previous video, and now we are populating the backlog with epics, features, and product backlog items of work to complete. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.